it's Martha at the Infinite Strength Conference, and I am here with an MBC patient who we want to talk to a little bit. And I wonder if you could introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Laura Chominkowski, and do you want me to say what kind of cancer I have? Or
No, that's great. Laura, when we were walking over to this space, you told me that you are on a clinical trial, and I do think that that's something that a lot of patients don't experience in their care. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So I was diagnosed with metastatic disease back in 2023, and my first line of treatment lasted for about a year, and then I had progression. And then it was recommended I start a clinical trial targeting the PIK3CA mutation. So I started that back in May up at Dana-Farber. And so in the beginning I was going weekly and then every other week, and now I've been going monthly. And I've been stable since I've been on the clinical drug.
Does being on the clinical trial, does it entail more things like scans or blood tests, things like that?
Yeah, so definitely in the beginning for the first several months, it requires a lot of travel, a lot of appointments. Before you get started, you have a bunch of scans to get baseline. And so I would say in the beginning, the weekly traveling, I live in Connecticut, traveling to Boston weekly, extra blood draws. Scans, I think, have always been every other month. So if you can get past the first few months with the weekly visits, it's a lot easier after that. And it's overnights. We stay a couple overnights when I go up for treatment as well. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it has been worth it for me.
What is it like to make that kind of decision? Like, how did you decide to do that?
So luckily my local oncologist was really kind of up to date on different trials and different lines of treatment, and so she knew that I had the PIK3CA mutation, and so she recommended that I go to a trial targeting that mutation. And I also sought out a second opinion at Dana-Farber, and my oncologist there had the same recommendation. I did at first go to Sloan Kettering. They were offering the same trial, but I didn't have a great experience there, and since Dana-Farber was offering the same trial, I decided to go there. There are approved medications that target the PIK3CA, but the trial was actually more specific to my particular mutation, so that's how I decided that, because it was a very good match for my specific mutation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that you were able to find this trial. Like, did you do the research? Maybe I missed that. Did you?
I didn't, but they did the, I can't remember the name of it, but when I first got diagnosed, they sent out that test that tests for a lot of different mutations. So she knew I had that. So my oncologist really guided me in terms of the next step and what would be most effective, she felt, for me. She felt that that was a great resource, and it wasn't sort of, the end of treatment options, but it was the best treatment option for me because it was such a good match. I think she had been on a call about it, so the timing was really fortuitous because she had just been on a call about that trial.
Yeah, it is crazy how luck plays a role
Yes,
with things.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in here and talking to us.